So to begin with, you may find the system either on or completely dark. And if it's completely dark, you just press it and it will come up to this screen if the system is in the quote off mode. So I'm going to hit start. The first screen that pops up after you hit start is to select the video conference answer mode. There can be 3 selections here. If you're going to be in a classroom where you're not going to be using the video conference, you probably should select the do not disturb option. However, if you're going to be expecting a call, you can choose either the automatically answer all incoming calls or the manually answer all incoming calls. We'll go ahead and choose the automatically answer and continue on to the next setup screen. So our screens and projectors are handled in pairs. So we have possibly 4 screens. Excuse me. Sorry. We have 4 screens which can be used, and all the screens are in the front of the room, left to right. And we can pair them in any orientation of 2. So in other words, all 4 can be on, the 2 on the left can be on, the 2 on the right can be on, the outer 2 or the inner 2. And of course, we could all have them all off as well. For this, I'll go ahead and just choose the 2 on the right. The reason I chose that is so that we don't have the projector lamp reflecting on the screen.
Okay.
So as the projectors are turning on, and literally the projectors are turning on with that as well as the screens are coming down. Once they're through this process, now we're into the main operation page of the system. Now there's really 2 different use cases for the room. There's one, the general purpose use of the room, and secondly, there's the video conference mode. So in the beginning half of this presentation, we're going to talk about the general use of the room, which is probably the majority of the use that the room will get. So in order to select the video source, we need to be able to choose left versus right, and let's choose there for select source. And this is a list of all of the possible inputs that we have for this room. It includes a computer, which is in the rack in the back of the room. So that's PC1 and PC2. It's really one computer with dual monitors. We have a DVD player, which is here on the podium. We could have a document camera, which would sit on this tray right here. We have 3 cameras in the room. We have 2 front cameras and 1 rear camera. These are generally used for video conferencing. We do have a black screen, which is just black. We have then connectors in 2 pockets in the table. So we have 2 flip tops here. Each flip top has a VGA cable. Each flip top has an HDMI cable. Each flip top has a 3.5 millimeter cable for audio. And this audio can be used both with the HDMI or the VGA. And then there's also some other video inputs here. There's a composite, which is yellow, along with red and white connectors for audio. And then there's a component video, which is red, green, and blue in there.
The old VCRs used them, right?
The old VCRs would use the composite with red and white, more than likely. Some of the newer DVDs would use component, like the tuner box. You know, and typically, if you had component, you would probably have both. Component and composite.
But I think the most common is VGA and
HDMI for now, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, all the computers going forward as of this year, I think, are going to have digital-only outputs. Which the HDMI is a digital signal. The VGA is an analog signal, as well as those are analog signals. Going forward, all of the content for movies and so on and so forth are going to be digital because that's how they control the content protection so that the movies can't be copied as easily. So you could literally choose any one of these sources. And these are retractors, by the way, so you press the button and the cable gets pulled in for you. And then you also have a network connection and a USB connection in there, and power in each flip top. So let's choose PC1 here. Over on the right screen, let's choose PC2. There is a built-in keyboard and trackpad in here, so you can literally control your computer. Now, if we were looking at the computer on the screen, notice it's a little hard to see. It's a little small. We have a full screen button there. It allows you to bring it to full screen. Of course, we're now choosing whether we want the left or the right monitor. Full screen. Yeah, I could have chosen the right one, but we also have some buttons in the middle here. Copy. So right now, if you look at the screen, we have the left and the right as we chose them. If I copy the left to the right, well, let's first swap. So now I've just reversed them. First swap them. I could also copy. I'll go back here. I'm going to select PC2 on there. So now we've been in the mode that we consider a live mode over here, these 4 buttons. The bottom 2, video conference preview and video conference input, are for the video conference side, which we'll talk about in a minute or two. But the preview button here allows me to operate the system in a little different mode than live. In live, when I select the source, and I'll select the DVD for right now, notice up on the screen it went immediately to the DVD player. If I'm in preview mode, and when we switch between modes, we redo the sources. So I'm going to go to preview mode. I'm going to bring the PC here, just like we had set up. But now notice the screens are still on the previous setting. I have a Q button here, and when I hit Q, that'll send them up. I could swap them here, but that did not affect them up there. But now if I hit Q, that will push them up that way. So this gives you the ability, if I had a laptop here and I was presenting my laptop up on the screen, but I wanted to set up the computer for my next presentation, I could be setting up the computer and still have the laptop up there. Same thing with the DVD if I wanted to get to a certain chapter in a DVD menu. Now, I haven't talked about this section down here. This is the audio source. And all the audio controls are really right here in the bottom. We can choose what we're going to listen to from none, PC, DVD, video conference, and then these are the inputs in the table or in the podium flip-flops. So the left RCA jacks, which were the red and white, the left 3.5 millimeter, the left HDMI. HDMI cable can carry audio as well as video. So I could easily get audio from a device like this, but I might also have a digital signal that's not carrying audio. So I could take this and convert it with an adapter to a DVI plug on it. If I had a computer or something that had DVI, there's an adapter that would do that, but DVI does not carry audio, so I would need to use the 3.5. DVI connectors are a little weird because they can be both analog video, as is that DVI connector, and DVI can also be digital, which I completely lost the back. So depending on what DVI you have, you could be connected to the VGA or to the HDMI. So there's an example of a DVI adapter to HDMI. The way you can sometimes tell the difference here is The analog one has pins over here around that. Those are the analog ports. And effectively, it's the same pinouts. So in our VGA cable, there's 5 pairs or 5 coax wires, red, green, blue, horizontal and vertical sync. So literally, when I do that, it's passing those pairs over to those 4 pins plus a couple more that are right around that notch or that slotted one. On the digital side, we don't need those connectors because it's using all the others, and it's just a pin-for-pin mount to the HDMI. If my memory is correct, there's 19 pins on the digital HDMI connection.
So we should probably get this kind of adapter just in case.
It might be good to have a few. There's not too many computers that end up having to worry about this. However, mine is one of them. So,
Most popular the HDMI and the VGA.
For sure.
Not so.
Yep. There are also other like DisplayPort. Some computers would have DisplayPort, and you could get an adapter for that to the digital as well. So. So one more piece in the operation of the room from a presenter standpoint or regular presentation standpoint is we have 2 TVs in the back of the room. And currently they're set to off. By pressing the button to front, we will automatically turn those on and they will mimic whatever is on the front screens. So that way, as a presenter, if I have properly sized presentations, then I should be able to view that and have a pretty good idea of what I'm presenting, even if I'm not looking right at this screen. So now on to the video conference modes. In the video conference mode, which is really this VTC preview here, we now have the ability, if we want to queue the video conference up, we can press the queue button. And so now we're sending the video conference to the... But we also have the ability to choose what video sources are being used with the video conference. In the room, we have 3 cameras that can be used for those sources. 2 up on the front wall, which are pan-tilt zoom cameras. And let's go ahead and choose one of those. Let's go to VTC input, select source. Let's choose the left camera. And notice when you see that camera on a window, you have the ability to pan or tilt or zoom in or zoom out of that camera. We also have the ability to choose an auto-tracking camera, which is in the back of the room designed to track the presenter. And the way the auto-tracking camera works is it follows this lanyard, which has a set of LEDs in it. So when I turn this on, and the camera right now is in a standby mode, it will automatically go to a standby mode after it loses sight. A minute or 2 after it loses sight, it'll go to standby. What it will do is it has 2 cameras up there, one of which has a lens designed to see this infrared light and block out the other light. So when I move this lanyard over into the camera range, now I got its attention, and if I walk around, it's going to follow me. Now, if I walk too fastly and I lose it, or perhaps I had this lanyard on, but I neglected to watch that I put it under my collar, and then I turned away from the camera, because at that point it doesn't see the light. And if it doesn't see the light, it's going to start a search, which try to get it to search you. So it's lost me. And it's now searching. It went back to home, and then it sweeps that way, and then it goes over. And if my battery's good, which is not too good.
Probably need to turn it off and on again.
Yeah, exactly. Give it another minute to rest. which is pretty scary because I've done it like 40 seconds. It's like, turn it on. Be bright enough.
The battery is probably.
Yeah, we need new batteries in a bad way.
No, I think because of you.
Oh, well, it should see this. So the LEDs are on the, some of the things about this. The LEDs are on the side with the audio printing. And they're all around there. Now, if I'm a lady with long hair, or a man with long hair, doesn't have to be a lady. If I have long hair, and I have my hair over this, I'm going to have the same problem as a collar. So you need to really be cognizant of how to use this. And if you're going to have somebody do a presentation, I would really recommend that they rehearse with this. Come in here, put the auto track up on the screens, and we have not done that. We could do that by either, well, let's just go to video conference mode on the LCD controls. And, oh, we don't, okay, we're still in VTC input. Let's go back there, hopefully we'll see it. We're still seeing the work, still seeing it. Let's go over here and select it on this side, auto track, and now go there. And there we go. And they could sit and literally watch that. You don't have to be in video conference mode to view the camera. You could just be in live and choose the camera, which would be slightly easier. But if you rehearse with that, you would have a much better feeling of how fast you can walk before it's going to lose you. You know, and you really don't want to be jumping around a lot anyway, probably.
Yeah.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Jump around. So the other piece here that's really audio-visual related are the microphone controls. The microphone controls down here are instructor mic, which allows these front mics to be unidirectional, one direction towards the front of the room. Room mics, and both microphones allow us to capture the audience, and then off mutes our microphones so that we cannot be heard to the far side. By the way, when you're in a video call, this VTC light button indicator will be lit. Any questions?
So we had two PC sources here, two PCs.
Yep.
Before we displayed it, right now we displayed in copying, right?
Well, we're in the video conference mode. Go back to live,
Okay.
and then select your source. And then you want that to be PC2.
PC2.
And then over here, select source. And let's make this PC1. There you go.
So PC2 is in sleep mode now?
PC2, that's actually the right monitor of the dual monitor setup. So think of it as two monitors. Yep.
I see. One PC, two monitors.
Correct.
It's like extended.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If we connect to this VGA, for example, another laptop,
Yep.
okay, we can show from here will be a PC. From the second screen will be a laptop. We can do
We
it.
do that? Sure. Let's do it. You need that adapter. So now we have my laptop recognizing that it's plugged in. And then it just shows the PC.
Do we need the VTC switch on or just front? It's not.
So in VTC mode, we're still seeing the VTC up there. If you want to see what's here, there,
Ah,
then we're
okay.
going to do that. Does that make any sense?
Which one? Left, right?
I think I'm left. Did I even?
Try right.
My computer's not. Oh. It was on up there.
Okay, and then...
Oh, you know what? No.
After, yes.
Oh, we're just not. Yeah. Okay. It is working.
So now, when would we want to use this now? To connect two PCs at the same time?
So if you,
I don't see any time when a professor would like to use two
Yes.
computers at the same time.
Right.
It's either the professor, and I don't know if you have the option, is using his account in the university, using his presentation or maybe a movie, which he has stored somewhere in the server, and he uses the computer here to access his account.
Yes.
Or he has his own laptop and he's just connecting his laptop and uses the data that he has there.
Right.
Some places are using kind of maybe Exchange or whatever system that you can store your files there and you access from any PC. So I don't know if you have that. If you have that, then the professor does not have to carry on within any computer. He can just log into his account. But if not, if everyone stores on his PCs, then that's the only reason for them to,
Right.
to carry. If the professor does not use anything, and he doesn't use any tool for the lecture, but suddenly he wants to present something and he needs, for instance, internet access, then you can just log into the computer here and show whatever he wants to show. But other than that, I'm sure that the professor will come with his own presentation. If it is on a DVD, then he can use the...
Oh, flash drive.
Yeah.
So usually...
But I don't see any reason for someone to use two computers at the same time.
Yeah.
and I might disagree with that, you know, because somebody might have an iPad as an HDMI or a VGA. I have all three adapters. I can do composite video or I can do HDMI or VGA. So somebody might have an alternate type of device. Or maybe somebody's carrying a Mac and the PC. I don't know.
Steve, you're looking at it, as a technical person. A professor comes to get a lecture in front of his audience. That's his main job.
Absolutely.
He prepares his lecture to be as simple as possible and as clear as possible and with as less tools as possible. So he will come with everything in one tool and he will use everything. You might need some time to prepare, but I don't see anyone uses another computer there if he's carrying on his own computer.
This is the wave of the future, though.
I know.
And there are all sorts of tools on here that you might lecture on. Showing somebody, being able to show somebody an application that's running on an iPad could be very valuable. I'm sure I could find some calculus programs on here that somebody might use. And I can't do that using a laptop or doing that.
If you're a professor, you will not try to challenge yourself with anything which you are not used in the past. So you're not going
I'm
to
pretty
be
sure
embarrassing in
just
front of
need
your audience.
to have like cables.
Yeah, an HDMI cable.
It's no. It will
Yeah,
work
I
over.
think you should continue with the presentation. This is
We're
just
done.
It's okay, we got a good argument on the video.
It's not an argument. It's just a difference in perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm seeing people all the time want that type
Yeah.
of technology.
And both perspectives are valuable to us.
I also agree
Yeah.
that Moshe's right. That they want to make it simple, but
The thing is that the professor does not want to embarrass himself in front of his students.
Absolutely.
That he's doing something wrong or maybe he misunderstand anything, so he will not try anything in front of the audience.
Unless he's Steven. Yeah.
Well, I hope you have, I really hope you have some professors that do come in and play.
Yeah, yeah.
And do take advantage.
We might have some, yeah, really like good with
Otherwise, we
technology.
installed, we could have just done one Flipkart.
Yes.
You know.
How about here?
So these are the video conference. This actually is the same as the mode button that when we first turn the system on. So are we an auto answer, manual answer, or do not disturb? And then a call and hang up, connect and hang up.
Can we demonstrate
Sure.
when we would use this?
So let's go to whatever that is, answer. And Moshe, you want to call us?
Yeah, it will take me a few seconds.
Yeah. Let's go into the VTC
So,
preview mode.
Moshe, you're calling from a Skopje desktop?
Yeah.
And you know the IP address of this machine, that's why you're calling here?
I'm not calling to an IP address. We set up a kind of library or an index where you can use I can show you. Do you want to see it?
You know.
Address book, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to see it?
You have it on your PC?
Yeah, it's over here. So I'm using a virtual room, and you go to moderate, invite. You can click in, you can type in the IP address, but you can also go by invite a terminal from a directory, and then here are the room numbers. You see 7507, that's the one. We have 7246. So we have 6 here. All the 6 rooms that we have the VTCs in. So I'm going to invite this room, and if you put it on automatic, it's already accepted. I'm on mute right now, so and also the speakers, so there is no feedback, but you can see me now here, and this is what you see, the auto tracking.
Okay.
It's really on the center of the.
So now we can talk.
I do not want to unmute me because you will get the feedback. I will do it for a second, and if you have your volume up there, then I guess we will have feedback very soon. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There's a little feedback.
Yeah. Okay, so I can hear you, you can hear me, and, but again, this is not intended to be from this room.
There. Yeah, we can hear that. So now this one is on. That means we have someone connected to the room, right?
Correct.
And we are also connected to the room?
Yes.
Yeah, we are not
we are
linked
the
one to each
connected.
other. We are on the same room, in the same virtual room.
And this we entered the room automatically.
Moshe
Or
asked
did you
us
just-
to come.
Since it was
okay.
set automatically, when I asked you to join the room, and actually this will be Igor who will initiate it, and he can invite more attendants to
You know
this
how to
meeting.
do it, right?
Yeah, but I think I misunderstood Askar's question because it's set to the manual and not to the auto. Yes, and nobody answered to you here.
Let's-
You didn't answer it, yes? Still.
No, I don't think I did. Oops. Go ahead and call us again.
We're still on VTC.
Is that right? So now we're over the call.
You want to come from this side? It's easier for you to see.
Алло. Алло. Да, Долгош. Еще одну комнату посмотреть. Давай.
So is that any way telling us to automatically answer because you're doing it from the bridge?
I don't know, was it on?
Where did you call from? Did you call from the bridge or did you call from?